So you've gone to the event, shot the event, you brought the photos home. I'm going to show you my very quick Lightroom workflow that I use that helps me get clients happy by returning their pictures to them in the best quality and in the shortest possible time. I mean, less than a day turnaround. And I'm talking about many pictures. Let's just jump straight into the video. If you don't have Lightroom, I think you should get it for free. Lightroom Classic is free, so do want to get Lightroom Classic. I'm going to open that right away. So the first thing you want to do is you want to copy the files from your camera. This is a Sony a700, one of my good cameras, but my go-to is definitely the a7 IV, which I'm recording the videos on. One of the mistakes I see many people do is they try to edit directly from their memory card. Don't do that, okay? Don't be amongst one of such people. So the first thing is you want to go in there and copy the files onto either your working PC or an external drive. If you have an SSD connected, that would be a good one so that your apps could work easily. But if not, I would recommend that you store all your files on an external and only keep the working ones on your PC. So that's the first step. Now, after copying the files onto your drives or your PC, the next thing you want to do is go into Lightroom and import the file. So that's like step number 2. Remember, never edit from your SD card. So to import, make sure you come to your Lightroom. If you open it, it might look somewhere like this. Go to the top right corner. Yeah, you see library, develop, map, books, slideshow, print, web. I probably not used some of them yet. Go to library. Okay, if you go to library, it's going to give you this little interface. But what you are looking for is to import. So if you look down here, there's a part that says import. All right, I'm going to click on that. What I also see people do is that they go to their file explorer, and what they try to do is they locate the pictures and they try to drag the whole pictures into Lightroom. There is nothing wrong with that. I've also just seen some of the people's machines freeze when you try to do it that way. I've seen that sometimes you can get a little hiccups here and there. So I would advise that you navigate your way there. So you go to the bottom left corner. Yeah, thank God I have Power Tools. And if you want to see a video about Power Tools, let me know. I'll make a video on that for you by first of all subscribing. So if you look at import at the bottom left corner here, if you click on that, all right, it's going to open something like this for you. And in here, what you want to really do is look at the left-hand side here. I mean this side, okay? And what you want to do is you want to navigate to where your photos are. So in this case, my photos are on my desktop, right? So I'm going to local disk, and I'm going to also expand users. I'm going to expand media. That is my PC. Your PC is different, please don't copy mine. All right, and I'm going to go to desktop, all right, and I'm going to go to Coco to the bar, because that is where the pictures are. So if you can see that, once you are done already, I've already imported this photo, so please don't mind me. That is why they are looking great out like this. So if not, they would have been fresh, then I would have brought them in. Sometimes you might have challenges with Sony cameras. You have to use a DNG converter to convert them. That's another thing. That's if your machine can't handle them. So if you're navigating, you go to the right bottom corner here. There will be the import button right here, and you can import it. Like I'm saying, I've already imported mine, so that's why it is showing the way it is. Once it will take a short while, depending on how your machine is or good your machine is. You give it a little while. After that, now you come back to the top once again. There is that library and develop. You want to go straight to develop because that is where we are going to work on the photos. That takes us to the step number 3, which is curling out or selecting the pictures to work on. Now, many people get straight away to working on this, but one thing I've come to notice for me is that I'm faster when I'm able to go through the pictures quickly, scratch through all the pictures quickly, select the ones that I want, and then I can then go ahead to group them again and work on them. If I decide to start working on them one after the other, and I look at the number, in this case, I have over 800 photos. It's going to kill me, all right? So I'm quickly going to use my hand on the right, the next, what's the name? The arrow next to move to the next photo, and I'm going to have my hand on number 2. So all I'm doing is I'm quickly scratching through. So if I see a picture and I see something good about it, I just give it a rating of 2. So you press 2, and then you can see it has set a rating of 2. And if you press 0, it changes to a rating of 0. If you press 3, a rating of 3. So I quickly have my right hand here, my hand on 2, and I start going through. If I see anything I like, 2. If I see something I don't like, sometimes I will zoom in to see how sharp or focused it is. I'll give it a rating of 2 if it is good. If not, I'll just quickly keep going through, rating of 2. If I see anything that is good, a rating of 2. I'm going to do this through every single photo. I know you're asking, is that not like too much work? You are better off selecting a handful, like from 1,000 pictures that you're going to be working with, and focusing on those ones, than leaving yourself up to, otherwise the boredom will set in. This thing can get boring at a point, I tell you. So this really helps me. Now the next thing I do is that after I've been able to go through quickly and give it a rating of 2, I come to the right bottom corner here. There's something called filter off, all right? And there's a small switch beside it. I want to turn this filter on. When you do, there's you see the area for the star right here, all right? So there's one star. There's greater or equal to. You can do it equal to. You can do less than or equal to. I just leave it as greater or equal to. All right. So greater or equal to. Then you can choose the number of stars. So you can choose 1 star. You can choose 2 stars. So after going through and selecting your photos, you go to step number 4, which is now editing the photos. So you make sure you turn on 2 stars so that all the ones that you selected are the ones that are only showing. So out of the 873 pictures that I took, now we have 343 selected to be worked on. You can see that by looking here. We have 873, but I have only 343 pictures to work on. You see, let me limit what I'm working with and I can quickly get to work. People's workflows are different, and you would have to even tweak this to see the one that actually works for you. So I take the very first picture, and then I start working on them, playing with my sliders. I will usually always slap my templates on them. I quickly slap my templates. Some people can start with the ones already provided in Lightroom, and then you tweak it along. It's all dependent on you. I'm not going into how I edit there. But if you really want to see a video on how I do that, you can let me know by dropping a comment in the comment section saying, hey, Carbell, can you show how to color grade your event photos? And I will do that. All right, I'm doing it anyways. I drop my templates and then I tweak it depending on a particular picture. The sad thing is that after selecting all the 343 photos, I will have to singularly go through each and every one of them to make sure they look good. It looks like a lot of work, but it will be easier because right after editing this one particular photo, I'm going to copy the settings. All right, I click on copy, and then you can see I get to copy the basic settings, the details. I'm not copying the lens correction because that differs from image to image. All right, and I'm not copying the transform because once again, that also differs from image to image. I'll keep the effect, and then I'll keep the calibrations too as well because that's for the colors. And I'll click on copy. And when I'm done, I'm going to select all the pictures, Control A or Command A if you're in a Mac. Select all the photos and then right click. And then I'm going to go to settings, right? Develop settings. And I'm going to go to paste settings. The moment you click on that, it's going to paste the settings on all the pictures that I've selected. All right. You can, if you decide to do it manually, by anytime you go to the next picture, you can click on paste right here, or you can do Command V, or you can right click on the picture and then go to settings, develop settings, and then do paste settings. But by working on one, I can copy and paste it on all of them. Now the next thing I'm doing is that because I've already copied the color grading on all of them, all I'm doing is just tweaking things a little bit. So I don't have to spend so much time now having to color grade each and every single one of them anymore. So I go, next picture, remove chromatic aberrations, enable profile correction, because not all lenses are perfect and you don't even shoot. And then I'll go to transform. Usually I use auto. The Lightroom adjusts for me. If not, I leave it at off and I manually adjust it. So I like to keep my images cropped at 16:9 aspect ratio, depending on what you have. Okay, you can. It's not a rigid thing. This I picked that from one of my mentors. So because each image is different, you might have to tweak the exposure just a little to make sure that the exposure is not too overexposed or underexposed. So those are the little tweaks I'll be doing on each and every single photo. So I go to the next one. When I come, once again, I remove chromatic aberrations, profile correction. I set this to auto. If it doesn't look good, I bring it off. I You see, like this, I had to zoom in a little so that it looks much better. You crop all of that, and that is why you should shoot, if you're shooting event photography, make sure you get a camera with a high megapixel count, so that even when you are cropping in post-production, you don't lose so much of the details. I'll go through for all of the pictures. What you also do is that right after working on each photo, adjusting a few things here and there, I give it a rating of 3. So anyone that I've worked on gets a rating of 3. As you can see down here, it's a rating of 3, 3, 3, 3, because I've worked on all of these ones. If I see a photo and then it doesn't look too good, I give it a rating of 1, not a rating of 0. 1 means that I thought it was good, I gave it a rating of 2, but now I feel like it's not so good, so I've given it a rating of 1. If I'm done and then the client needs more photos, I just go to the rating of 1s and then rework on those ones that I thought they were good at one point, but maybe because of something I didn't work on them. A rating of 3 for all the ones that I work on. You put some in black and white and all of that. And this was a nice event. I really love the photos that I got from here. If you want to see how I captured these amazing photos, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. That leads us to step number 5. That is exporting the images. Now that I've worked on these photos and I'm giving them a rating of 3, I have to go now to my filter here and choose a rating of 3. So now I want to see only those with a rating of 3. So out of the 340 something photos that I chose to work on, now I have only 289 of them, because that means some of them were demoted to 1, because I felt maybe they weren't sharp enough, they weren't good enough. So as you go for it, you're going to obviously cut down on the number as well. Right, so 289 fake pictures for an event is a lot, but if you use this process, it will feel like a short while for you. And the next thing I'm going to do right now is that I'll select all. So that's Command A or Control A. And once I'm done selecting all, I have a shortcut. You don't have to use it. So I think it's Command Shift E. And that opens the export settings. If you're in a Mac, I think it's Command or Shift E, I suppose. If you're on the Mac, I think I've used Macs, and yeah. But if not, go all the way to the top left corner and choose File. All right. If you go to File, you go to Export. All right, it's right here. So that's the Command Shift E that I keep using. If you're in the Mac, I think it's Command Shift Alt E or Shift E, one of them. So Command Shift E, and then it opens here. Now the location that you want to export this to, what I do is that I keep mine on same folder as the original photos. Wherever the photos were picked from, export it there, but put it in a subfolder called Edited. That helps me with my collection, because if I'm navigating and looking for my photos, I know where to find them. There will be a subfolder called the Edited folder in the original photos. Let me show you how it looks. So there's the desktop, and there's the photos. You can see these are the raw images, and then there's an edited folder right here. And there's where the edited photos are, I exported to. File naming, I usually don't touch that. You can actually touch that. You can actually have the camera name or whatever date. You can choose how you want it. I don't usually touch that. File settings, I keep it at JPEG, sRGB, quality of 80. It does the job for me. Image resizing. Now I resize to fit the long edge. So if it's a horizontal image like this, there's a long edge. If it's a vertical image like this, there's a long edge. So resize to fit the long edge. And I want 3000 pixels on that long edge. Also a resolution of 240 pixels. Yep, and then output sharpening. Sharpening for screens. All right. And then no watermark. I just don't leave my watermarks on my files. After exporting, do nothing. And then when I'm done, I click on export, and then it gets to work right away. Usually, event photography do not require a lot of retouching, but just in case you have to do some form of retouching, I've made a video right here. If you click on this video, I'm going to go through how to master the mixer brush in retouching. So click on that video, and I'll catch you in the very next one. Peace.